Good morning, everyone. It's Roman Rich. It's about 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time here in California. I'm just east of Ludlow. I'm between Ludlow and Amboy. And I'm on Route 66, or at least I'm on a section of road that I think may have been used as Route 66 for a while, and that's what I'm broadcasting today. I had some requests that I do some more off-road videos, and I'll try to do the best I can. This is on my phone. I do not have a gimbal yet. It's still in transit. But anyway, this is what I believe could have been Route 66. There's a couple of study groups online that map out and pinpoint certain areas that are believed to be Route 66. And a lot of times we find these sections based off of the National Old Trails segments, which followed closely along the railroad. And so you'll notice I'm paralleling the railroad as we speak. But anyway, so if you ever wanted to know what it was like to drive cross country 100 years ago, this is probably about as close as you're going to get to it. Right now I'm going through a sand wash, and I do have my four-wheel drive engaged because I've been hitting quite a bit of soft spots. But if you ever wanted to know what it was like to drive in an old Ford or some kind of old British car or something, you know, in the 1915, 1916 era, this is what it was like. Roads weren't paved for the most part. 95% of the roads I don't think were paved. And you had dirt and sand and rock. That's what you had to drive on. So you were kind of subjected to the elements and the conditions, and had to be very adaptive with your driving techniques and your strategy. You know, people didn't do hundreds and hundreds of miles a day, and they only did like probably 25 to 30 miles an hour. You'd be screaming if you're doing 35 or 45 miles per hour. And right now I'm doing a whopping 10 miles per hour. But again, I'm looking for old 66, and I'm looking to see if possibly there's any asphalt here at all, because sometimes they had sections of the National Trails paved when they used it for Route 66, but sometimes they didn't. So what a lot of people don't realize is that Route 66 wasn't paved completely until the late 30s. And that was 10 years after Route 66 had been designated. So a lot of Route 66 was dirt and gravel roads. It's an interesting fact most people don't know. So this could have been Route 66. And I'll show you here on my map if it'll pop up on the... it's going to have a hard time. Let's see if I can... Yeah, too much sun. I can't show you my map because my screen is reflective. Yeah, you can kind of see a little bit there. But anyway, I've got this plotted out on a map, and that's what I'm doing. I'm driving according to my GPS, my map. Oh, here comes the train. Pretty cool. Tons of trains that come through here. Eventually I'll end up in Amboy and Cadiz Summit. I'm making myself east, heading back towards Chicago. Sucker's loud. And this is interesting. Here's like a little cut. And you used to see these minor cuts like this back when the first road pioneers were building roads. You'd see these minor cuts where they're, you know, maybe a 4 to 6 foot elevation that they cut through, and that's a good sign. Actually, I might have to get out and take a couple pictures of this. But so that's a good sign, because today's railroad workers could care less about something like that. They would just drive right over, you know, as rail paths. So that's a good sign that this is a major road. Major road. It's funny, isn't it? By 100 years ago, their standards, that would be a major road. And there's some road debris too. That's another thing I'm always looking for. I'm looking for guardrail posts. I'm looking for right-of-way markers. I'm looking for road debris, trash, parts from cars. You can see that cut right through there. And over here, I think there's a fender or something off of an old Probably 1930s car. This is what I'm always looking for. I mean, trash can float in from anywhere, you know, bottles and stuff like that. But usually these heavy metal parts, like this looks like an old cowl off of something. That might even be, that looks like, yeah, it looks like a cowl off of, I don't know, 30s, I mean, no, 20s Ford, 1920s Ford. That probably would have been your gas tank filler hole right there. And so I'm guessing, for any of you experts, help me out here, that's probably off a you know, teens to 20s Ford, and a T or an A model. And so that's a good sign. That stuff does, you know, it'll move around the desert a little bit, but not like this bottle here. What's this bottle? That's a Sobe bottle. Now, we know they didn't have Sobe in the 30s, right? So that's floating around the desert. That kind of stuff can happen. But you have other trash and stuff too. The desert's full of trash, but what you're looking for is heavy stuff. Fenders, old seats, you know, things like that. You usually find lots of oil cans. Sometimes you find engine parts from where someone had to break down in the middle of the desert and they had to fix what it is that they were doing right there on the road. They didn't have roadside service, so you just fixed your car on the side of the road, whether it was doing a head job or a water pump. Hold on just a second, guys. I'm gonna take a picture here and then we'll embark a little bit more. I want to get a picture of this cut. I'm looking back west towards Santa Monica, Los Angeles area. You might hear some thundering in the background. I don't know if there's a military operation nearby or something, or a quarry, or sounds more like military. Sounds like bombing runs almost, but there's loud bellowing in the background. It's been going on for the last hour and a half. Keep on going here. If you would, share my videos, like them, subscribe, encourage others to subscribe and like my videos too. The more people I have watching, the more likely I am to make the videos. That's what drives me to do what it is I do. I want people to see the world if they can't get out of their own little world. So we'll just continue on here a little bit. It's a pretty good incline here. Looks like another cut. Looks like another cut alongside the railroad. And again, railroad workers wouldn't care about driving over something like that. They would just drive right over that. They wouldn't care. But this looks like it was made early on. That's a pretty good cut. Pretty cool stuff. And then off to the left, you may see some interstate traffic from I-40. Yeah, it's hard to say if that was done in the last 20 years or 100 years. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy it. I'm going to be heading towards Amboy. I got some more stuff coming up soon. I have a special video I'll be doing later from Cadiz Summit. If you guys aren't familiar with Cadiz Summit, that's kind of the top of the hill between Amboy and Essex, California. And there's an old building, used to be a gas station, used to be a cafe and stuff there. It's all kind of burned out now, but I'm going to be doing a video from there later on, and hope you guys will tune in to check that out, because it's going to be pretty cool. So anyway, I'm going to hop out here, get some more pictures, and show you guys around a little bit, and then I'm cut loose. I don't see any more big trash or anything. I do see some old bottles. Old template or something there. I don't know what that is. That's recent. If you're out exploring, you want to watch pulling up flat objects and stuff, things like that, especially in the desert. That's some sort of a railroad deal, especially out in the desert, because I can't tell you how many times I've found critters like snakes. You know, snakes are the big ones, and they love to hide underneath flat stuff like plywood and signs and things. So be careful when you're out there exploring. If you're going to be out walking around hiking, you want to have yourself some snake boots or some snake chaps. Those are available at most sporting goods stores, and trust me, they're valuable. I've had a few run-ins with rattlesnakes out along 66. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. It's about 10 minutes, so as always, go your own way. I'll see you down the road.